A major push to lock in the female vote with speeches from the First Lady and a handful of prominent women in Congress. It's an effort that will likely continue throughout the convention this week as Democrats try to paint the Republican Party as being out of touch with the concerns of women in America. I'm joined now by two Democratic Congresswomen, one from Pennsylvania, Allyson Schwartz, who spoke before the convention last night, as well as Democratic Representative from Alabama, Terry Sewell, who is a longtime friend of both President Obama and the First Lady. First off, Michelle Obama last night, I imagine you guys thought the speech was pretty good?
She hit it out of the ballpark. We did think it was pretty good. She was great. She was great. And I think not just for the audience in the arena, but really for Americans who were watching, and she was speaking really to their hearts and minds. It was great.
One thing that struck me was something she said that made me think a lot about what Ann Romney said last week. Michelle Obama was talking about when she first met the president, how they were dating and how tough they had. Let's listen to a soundbite.
He was still the guy who picked me up for our dates in a car that was so rusted out. I could actually see the pavement going by in a hole in the passenger side door. He was the guy whose proudest possession was a coffee table he found in a dumpster, and whose only pair of decent shoes was a half size too small.
We got married and moved into a basement apartment. We walked to class together, shared the housekeeping, ate a lot of pasta and tuna fish. Our desk was a door propped up on sawhorses. Our dining room table was a fold-down ironing board in the kitchen. But those were the best days.
So Mrs. Romney talking about eating tuna fish sandwiches, Michelle Obama talking about driving in a rusted car. This sounds a little bit like, you know, we had to walk to school both ways uphill when I was growing up. I mean, why do you think we heard so much about how hard both candidates had it long ago?
Well, listen, from a personal note, I thought she hit it out of the ballpark. I've known both of them, one from law school, one from college, and I can tell you that hers is a uniquely American story, and I just thought that her warmth, her intelligence, it really beamed out last night. I think that she just really touched the hearts of Americans, as she's done throughout her career as First Lady.
Representative Schwartz, you care to weigh in on who had it harder, Michelle Obama or Ann Romney?
You know, it really shouldn't be the debate we're having, you know. I mean, I think that both are in pretty good places right now, obviously. But the fact is that we are talking to American voters and talking to them about whether they want to say, we understand your struggles. We understand the reality of your lives. And I think that Michelle Obama was so... it was so genuine. It was so who she's really about and connected. And it is really about living out the American dream, that they've worked hard and they've done well. And she admitted that. She talked about that. And I think it was how genuine it was really came across.
It probably is true why we're hearing it from both sides, how they've come up and built themselves. I also have a little bit of sound of Mrs. Obama talking about college, which is, of course, pertinent because you did go to college together. You just told me you got emotional. You heard this last night. We're going to play it again right now.
And when my brother and I finally made it to college, nearly all of our tuition came from student loans and grants. But my dad still had to pay a tiny portion of that tuition himself. And every semester he was determined to pay that bill right on time, even taking out loans when he fell short.
You were with her back then when that was happening in Princeton when she was in college. How's she changed since then when you first knew her?
She's exactly the same person.
Exactly.
I mean, she was my big sister. She was a great mentor then. She's a great mentor now and a role model. Tears came to my eyes when I heard her talking about the student loans, because I know that my dad was doing the same thing around a coffee table in Selma, Alabama. So I think that the connection that she's made with the American people is just phenomenal. And it just goes to show you that we are just so lucky and so blessed to have her as First Lady and Barack Obama as our president.
What do you think, Representative, will be the decisive factor for women voting this year?
Well, there are a lot of reasons why women in America should vote for President Obama, because almost on every issue, President Obama, the Democrats, have stood up for women's rights, for equal pay, for the ability for women to succeed, to have the opportunities to succeed. And the fact that they really understand and have we have policies that will work to help make sure that that happens. So, yes, higher education matters. Being able to get those college loans matter. And then being able to put the pieces together, which is what all families do, and certainly women do. You know, we take care of our elderly parents, and we take care of our kids, and we try and take care of ourselves when we have a chance. And, you know, that's really what came across. And the fact is that it's who we are generally, but it's also who we back it up with policy and positions and direction.
America. I think you saw on display last night the diversity of America on that stage.
Thank you, Terry Sewell, Congressman Terry Sewell, Allyson Schwartz. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great to see you. See you again there on the floor tonight.
Absolutely.
A rousing speech by former Ohio Governor Ted Strickland last night not only fired up the Democratic convention,